Good morning. And Katamari Damacy. It's a pretty snazzy game if you ask me. It's a game that is quite simple, yet has more personality than most games I've ever played. Before I actually start the review, some exposition if you will. Katamari Damacy was a game for the PlayStation, of the second variety, that is considered by many to be an underrated classic. And what do companies do when they have an underrated classic on their hands?
They remake it.
So did they do a good job? In my opinion, yes. Objectively, it's a really strong meh of a game. The story of this game is really simple, except for the fact that there's two halves and it's shown over the time it takes to beat the game. So if you're me, then that means that, well, you'll see chunks of the story over the span of a week or two. And as someone who's me, I can really relate to that fact. The story is, the Prince of something, I can't really remember, and the King of the Cosmos are having a jolly old time and accidentally destroy every star in the sky, including the most important star, the moon. And then the other side of the story is that a family are about to watch their dad ride in a spaceship, but oh no! The moon's pretty gone, but they still get to go on a lunar space vacation at the end of the game, but that's for later. Either way, levels. They're kind of important. So what are they like in this game? Well, there are two kinds of levels. There's the normal levels, which are just named Make a Star 1 through 9, and then after that they do Make the Moon, still a great star. And there's the Make Constellations levels, which are just named after constellations. Those constellations being Cancer, Cygnus, Gemini, Ursa Major, Taurus, Pisces, Virgo, and the one and only that's a star and not a constellation, the North Star. These levels have a weird type of objective where you have to get a certain amount of things in a level, and Ursa Major and Taurus, woo! Those aren't fun. You have to get the girthiest bear or cow, respectively, but those last three regular levels, they are so annoying. They make me want to rip out my hair and feed it to a dog. And I don't even own a dog. So I had to get that one out. And they're especially annoying since you have to spend 17 to 25 minutes per attempt, which doesn't sound bad when you can take into consideration you have to attempt each level about 6 times. But 25 times 6 is a number too high for me to count to. And while you're playing those levels so hard, it makes you have such great anger that you want to clench your fists, make you just fuming, maybe make you pick up that highly abused Xbox 360 controller, throw it against the wall yet again. You can listen to beautiful, calming music like this. Speaking of the music in this game, that may or may not fit, the music is quite good, but a lot of the music has words in it, which isn't very good for putting in the background like I am doing now, because that would distract you from my beautiful voice. I mean, what other game has vocals in their music? Persona 5? Yes, but any before Cat? Well, of course, but it's still quite unique for the fact that it was and still is a special occasion to have vocals in video game music, which adds to its thick layer of personality. All of that was retained very well in the transition to a new generation of console and having a remake. Which, the remake is good, but kind of bad at the same time. It changes barely anything, but retains everything good about the game, and in turn, everything bad. It adds nothing. It just upscales the resolution and makes the colors more crisp, and all the glitches and clunky controls make it not as fun as it could be. It's been criticized in the past for things like this, But since this was slightly less hyped up as some other remakes, like Final Fantasy VII or something like that, it was excused since the fans of the old games were excited to just have more representation. The last game in the series was in 2011 called Touch My Clump, for crying out loud. And that's kind of the problem with games like this. Sometimes when you change too much, it gets rid of the personality of the game. But you don't change anything, and lazy. Moral of the story, no one's ever happy. I'm not happy, and that's all the people I can think of. Anyway, ending. Game. That game being Katamari Damacy. The ending is super fun. It has a message about loving everyone and world peace, but who cares about that garbage when, look, I'm rolling up all the countries into a ball, and lunar space vacation, my favorite. And what are my thoughts of this game? I give it a solid 9 out of 14. I feel like this is something I forgot to mention. Ah, that's what it was.